Magical 20 minutes that was in the end to take a 2-0 kind of comfortable win in the end to a 5-0 emphatic victory, which gives us 3 huge points and keeps this winning run going. Welcome back to Analysing Arsenal, and these are my thoughts to the game at the Emirates Stadium tonight, which saw Arsenal comfortably and emphatically beat newcomers Huddersfield by 5 goals to 0. And what a fantastic second half, final 20 minutes from the Gunners to give ourselves a big win, not just to improve our goal difference, but just to change what was a fairly easy night with a couple of hairy moments into an emphatic victory, and that is exactly what it was. And this was a big night really for Arsenal because, you know, it's a midweek Premier League game. Obviously with Manchester United coming up at the weekend, you want to keep this winning run going and you don't want to drop points. You know, the likes of Manchester United winning yesterday, you know, Spurs losing yesterday, which meant that we could take advantage and, you know, go even further ahead from our North London neighbours. And, you know, obviously tonight Chelsea were playing, Liverpool were playing, Manchester City were playing, and all 3 of them got wins in the end. So for us it was a huge night to keep this winning run going and, you know, stay in the pack and stay in the race. Incidentally, you know, you want to stay in that top 4 race and you can't afford to slip up and drop points, particularly when you're up against a fairly average side, and we should be beating Huddersfield, you know, comfortably at home anyway. But Huddersfield, credit to them because they actually played rather well. You know, 5-0 looks very flattering on our part, but actually deep down, I don't really think it necessarily believe that it was a 5-0 win. You know, we went 2-0 up, and in the final 20 minutes, just we turned on the screw and scored 3 very comfortable goals and played fantastic football. And you know, Huddersfield had chances earlier on in the game, and they could convert those chances. And you know, when you've got a newcomer and you know, a team that has been in the Championship last season coming up to the Premier League, they're still fairly inexperienced, you know, to the whole Premier League. And against these big teams, if you fail to, you know, convert the chances that you create, the chances of the quality that these big teams have, particularly, you know, Arsenal, when we get going and when we start to motor, we are absolutely ruthless and just unstoppable. And that's exactly what happened. You know, Huddersfield just could not cope with, you know, the talent and experience that Arsenal had. And once we got that second goal from then on, we just absolutely just flew out the blocks in the final 20 minutes of that second half, and we scored very early on, which meant that we were always in control. Even when Huddersfield had their moments, going forward and creating chances, we still had the lead, and we were very much in control, you know, throughout the majority of the 90 minutes, with a couple of, you know, hairy moments here and there. When you look at the team that Arsene Wenger put out tonight, it's actually you know, you got to give him praise because he put out our strongest team, and I kind of thought that he was going to put out, you know, a fairly strong team, but was going to rest, you know, a couple of players here and there. You know, primarily, and the simple reason to that is like because obviously we've got Manchester United on Saturday. You know, we play Manchester United in 3 days' time. You know, I thought that Arsene Wenger was going to rest some of the key players, particularly as we are playing Huddersfield. I mean, don't disrespect to Huddersfield, but, you know, they're one of the promoted sides from the Championship last season. So, you know, there's a very good, and you know, the percentage was quite high in terms of actually going and winning this game, even if we didn't put out our strongest team. And that was what my thinking was. But Arsene Wenger didn't want to take any chances, and it is a little bit of a risk. And obviously, the risk is that we've now not got Lacazette playing, you know, on Saturday at the Emirates Stadium. I don't think anyway, and that is kind of the risk and the chance you take. But also, we've comfortably got a 5-0 win, you know, and we're still in the top 4, and we're keeping this winning run going. So, you know, it's kind of swings and roundabouts at the end of the day. And Arsene Wenger took the gamble of playing his strongest side. They did the job in terms of the performance, and we've only really lost Lacazette, and I'm pretty sure it's only a short-term injury, so it's not too bad. The game kind of kicked off, and in the 3rd minute, we just kind of started from there. Ramsey won the ball in midfield. He passed it to Ozil. Lovely flick to play in Lacazette. Lacazette was clean through and just slotted it into the bottom right hand corner to make it 1-0 after 3 minutes. And then in terms of the first half, it was a very kind of cagey game, really. You know, we had a couple of chances, but our passing wasn't, you know, very sharp. We were kind of lacking that killer pass and lacking that focus to be clinical in front of goal. We were creating chances, but, you know, it was that final, you know, that final ball that you saw Ozil flick into Lacazette, and how great he was and how clinical he was putting that final ball in. It was, you know, that final ball in the first half, you know, particularly between the first half and when we got our second goal later on in the second half. You know, we were lacking that little bit of creativity up front, and we weren't really kind of doing too much. if I'm being perfectly honest, going forward, we had a lot of the ball, but we just weren't really causing Huddersfield any direct problems. And credit to Huddersfield in kind of the final 15 minutes of the first half and the first kind of 10 minutes of the second half. Huddersfield really, really, did well, and they created chances. They won the ball in midfield. They had a shot that went wide. They put a ball in, and then they were clean through into the box. And then they put a cross in. Cech made the save, and then he hit the ball, and for it to hit the crossbar and go out for a corner. Incidentally, Petr Cech nearly, conceded their own goal. That would have been absolutely horrendous. And they had a couple of really, really good chances, Huddersfield, and they played some nice movement in the midfield. Their passing range in terms of the midfield was decent. And then, when they got into areas where, a better team would have, scored tonight, really, we left a couple of, holes in the defence, and we created, we gave, more importantly, Huddersfield chances, and those chances, they really should have taken, because they created a couple of really good clear-cut chances, and, it was our defensive frailties that came to fruition, and luckily Huddersfield just could not, make us pay for the defensive mistakes that we made, and, it was at that batch where they didn't take their chances, and, in the end they came to regret the chances that they missed, really. Lacazette came off with an injury, and apparently he is going to be missing the Manchester United game, which was a real shame. Olivier Giroud came on. Olivier Giroud looked absolutely brilliant when he did come on. He had a real good chance, even though he was offside. But what happened was he went into the space. Ozil played him in, and he went out wide. He was offside, but he didn't realise it was offside. He went round the goalkeeper, he missed the open goal, and then rebounded back to him, and then he missed another open goal. So I was just like, oh no, Giroud, what are you doing? But then the second goal happens, lovely build-up play. Ramsey fires it into Ozil, and then Ozil goes out wide, passes it in, slots it into Giroud, who just calms it straight home for 2-0. And then once we were 2-0 up, it was kind of cruise control from that point on. Alexis Sanchez bagged himself a third goal, fantastic goal. Ramsey again in the link-up play. Then he played it into Ozil. Ozil then back into Sanchez, and Sanchez just hit it home for his third goal. The fourth goal comes once again from those three linking up. Sanchez played it into Giroud. Giroud flicking it into Ozil. Ozil's out wide, and then he just kind of does a little bit of a chip up and over to put it in for 4-0. And then Olivier Giroud once again finishes off and gets a fifth goal for us as well. So Giroud got 2, Ozil got 1, Sanchez got 1, and Lacazette obviously got 1 as well. And the link-up play between Ozil, Sanchez, Lacazette, and then Ozil, Sanchez, and Giroud tonight was absolutely spellbinding. Some of the stuff that they were doing was absolutely just so nice to see, and they were so just majestic in the way that they were playing, and they just oozed class, really. And it was kind of really frustrating to see, if I'm being perfectly honest, because it just shows that how much we need Ozil and Sanchez to stay. Now, apparently the reports coming from Arsene Wenger this week, he's saying that he feels fairly confident that they are going to stay in the January transfer window, that they are going to play their whole season at Arsenal for this year. Whether they're going to be here next season, I highly doubt it, and I do think they're on borrowed time. They're going to be leaving Arsenal Football Club soon. But I generally feel like, and I'm not just saying this, but I kind of had this feeling that there's a small glimmer of hope, and there's a small chance that Ozil and Sanchez will stay, particularly if we get back into the Champions League. If we win the Europa League and maybe win the FA Cup this year, then we need to do successful in the domestic tournaments. Obviously, we're out of the Capital One Cup. Oh no, we're not out of the Capital One Cup or the Carabao Cup. We've got West Ham, so potentially we can still win that. So if we can win the Carabao Cup, win the FA Cup, win the Europa League, potentially one of those 3 tournaments, and get ourselves back into the Champions League, whether that is from winning the Europa League or finishing 4th or higher, they might stay, and they might see that there's a chance for Arsenal to grow and develop into the team that it once was, and that is exactly what you want them to think, and kind of that is kind of the thing that if I was Arsene Wenger, I would try and plead with them and kind of really keep going on about the fact that something's happened at Arsenal. We're motoring, with you guys saying it, we've got the chance to continue and grow and go back into a proper top tier football club, one that we once were, and now we've fallen away, but we can rebuild. We've fallen down, but we can rebuild the ladder and go up the ladder and get back to the top of the tree rather than being stuck in the middle. And we're far away from the top of the table. And speaking of the table, we're up into fourth. We're on to 29 points, 28 points. We're 4 points behind Manchester United, who we play on Saturday. And obviously Chelsea won tonight, so they're on to 29. Spurs losing yesterday, which means we're further than Spurs, definitely. I think we're now, I believe, we are now 3, 4, maybe even 5 points clear of how... Actually, I want to check. How far are we past, and how many points clear are we of Spurs? So if I go Premier League table, I'm pretty sure we're 3, 4, 5 points, so we're on to 28 points. Spurs are at 24, so we're 4 points clear of Tottenham Hotspur. We're 2 points clear of Liverpool. We're a point behind Chelsea. We are 4 points behind Manchester United, and we are still 12 points behind Manchester City, who are, they haven't lost a game yet. They're absolutely crazy. They're motoring, really. They are starting to look like real invincibles, if I'm being perfectly honest, which kind of scares me. But if we can beat Manchester United, we're only going to a point behind them. We'll close the gap to 9 points, potentially Manchester City lose a game or drop point. So we're very much in this top 4 race, and we still got a slight and a very, very small glimmer at the title. Even though I don't think we're going to win the Premier League title, we're not in the title race. Mathematically, we still are, and we're definitely in the top 4 race. So we're doing well. That was our 12th consecutive home win at the Emirates. We're unbeaten the last 12 games at the Emirates, and we've are part of this winning run in the Premier League. We haven't lost since October. Since the Watford game in the Premier League, we have not lost it. We have. We've lost against Manchester City, sorry. So, but since the Manchester City game, we've beaten Spurs, we've beaten Burnley, and now we've beaten Huddersfield. And if we can beat Manchester United, it will be 4 wins in a row, and that really will be good. And, against Burnley, we kind of left it late and got a little bit lucky. And today, we were just on point and just absolutely just shredded Huddersfield, really. We absolutely blew them away, but they played very well. They gave a good account of themselves as well, and I'm very, very confident for the Manchester United game. I've just got a gut feeling that we're going to play really, really well and actually get ourselves not just a point, but we're actually going to get ourselves a win on Saturday, and I'm very, very confident to that. And that is where we're going to leave Analysing Arsenal for tonight. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Apologies for a couple of the mistakes that I made during this video. I'm very, very tired. It's been a very, very long day, but please make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, check out my other videos as well, and also follow me on Twitter at DJSpagpuss1998. You can also let me know all of your comments, everything about Arsenal. Tell me your comments, questions, queries, reviews down in the comment section below, and I will rejoin you again on Saturday night after we play Manchester United at the Emirates. That is a huge game, and hopefully we can get 3 more points. But at the minute we're into the top 4, and we've kept this winning run going, and we've absolutely scintillated Huddersfield in a scintillating 20-minute spell to turn a 2-0 win into a 5-0 win. So I'm very, very happy, and let's see where we go from there. Goodbye, see you later.